There is a code as ancient as time itself, a divine order born amongst the stars, maintaining the structure that binds all living things together in the universe. This code is embedded as vibrations within the unified field of the Great Spirit, which is then transmitted from the galactic center, then sent to the other luminaries and planets through the various messengers, the Manus and avatars of consciousness, who then taught the knowledge to the ancient seers of Artha. Through the millennia, wars and natural disasters have destroyed most of the knowledge of the high code here on Artha. Yet the code survives because it is apaurushaya and indestructible. This code is the guidebook of the human race and has led to the evolution of consciousness and thought, leading to significant discoveries in science, mathematics, astronomy, philosophy, and religious doctrine. However, dark forces covet this power, usurping and distorting the truth to their favor. A shadowy veil cast on the code to seize power, imprison humankind, and destroy life in other galaxies. Join me as we unearth fragments of the sacred knowledge shared by the great Sphinx, Gautam Buddha, Dyota, Zarathustra, Tian the Baptist, the Knights Templar, Maria Magdalene, and the man known as Isha Nasra. Together we will unravel this mystery using the forgotten key of Nirukta to unlock the vast power of the human mind, body, and soul. So, what is the code and how does it work? In its core is Om, the transcendental yoga of Arya Sanatana Dharma. The language is Sanskrit, the code of the gods. You may be asking, who am I? What is my purpose? And how does this even affect me? Is it going to make me rich and powerful? Well, the answer is a definite yes, in ways much, much greater than the physical. You see, the code affects every living being in the universe. It is a technology enabling the pursuit of the highest orders of science and mathematics. But beyond these physical aspects of knowledge are essential technologies of the human operating system, taught in the form of spiritual philosophies and practices in both quantum and metaphysics. Proof of its power can be seen in the outstanding works of the Indian astronomer Aryabhata, who discovered the value of pi accurate to 4 decimal places, calculated the diameter of Artha, described the heliocentric model of Earth 1,000 years before Copernicus, and measured the distance between the Sun and other planets in an era when people were still developing metal horseshoes. He was also instrumental in developing key concepts of trigonometry, calculus, concepts featured in Aryabhatiya, a book he wrote when he was only 23 years old. The understanding of concept zero gave rise to the binary system in mathematics, which lay the foundation of modern-day computing languages. As a fitting tribute, the first Indian satellite, launched in 1975, was named Aryabhata, in memory of all the wonderful contributions this Aryan had given to the world of mathematics and astronomy. Every code needs a language, and for the code to work, the language must be perfect. Perhaps the oldest spoken liturgical language on Artha is Sanskrit, the mother of languages. It predates Greek, Latin, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, Proto-Germanic, and all major languages. Sanskrit means polished and done perfectly. Its nature is divine, and is the chosen language in which the code of the gods is encrypted. Sanskrit is a modular language based on root syllables called dhatus. Dhatu means root or constituent, which is where we get the words such as data, the root of information, date, which is rooted in time, and dhatu. This is why in 1985, NASA researcher Rick Briggs stated that Sanskrit had significant lessons to offer in solving natural language understanding that may be beneficial for applications in the field of AI or artificial intelligence. Using one of the disciplines of the Vedanga called nirukta, we can deconstruct words in their cellular form and extract its literary DNA to uncover the true meaning and intention of the words, regardless of how they've been transliterated or pronounced. This applies to names of people, places, and words used today. Because of variations in pronunciation and alterations in spelling that have transpired in the course of centuries and millennia, traditional nirukta had to be adapted and improvised. Thus, we must understand that unintentional errors may occur in the process. However, the good news is there is enough evidence for us to provide a bulletproof case. Since English has become the predominant language understood by most today, we will start there and eventually go through various languages as we go. Before we begin, let me forewarn you that some of this information may come as a surprise and even be shocking. So please hold your emotions and judgments until you've looked at several examples with an unbiased, open mind. All I'm asking is for you to finish this presentation. Now, if you wish to grab a beverage or something to drink, now might be a good time to pause the video. We'll be right back. If you're ready, let us decode. First, a prayer of guidance. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Punaktu Saviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. To demonstrate the cellular DNA structure of Sanskrit, we will begin by decoding the word create, which is krita, here highlighted in red in Samskrita. The word create comes from kriyat, meaning done or committed. In Latin, it is creu. In Spanish, the word is crear. In Romanian, crea. In German, it is kreieren. In Japanese, skuru, and so on. If you notice, all the words contain the root syllable or dhatu kar, meaning to impel, energize, or move. Kar is consecrated with the universal vibration of movement and action. And since its energy is action and movement, it is easy to see where we get the word car. Adding avani, meaning stream, we get kar avani or caravan, a stream of carts. Cargo is kar plus argha or argya, meaning valuable items are being moved or carried. Starting to make sense? Let's keep going. In Sanskrit, Krishna means the color black. But let's decode it deeper to its beautiful core. It is a combination of the energies kr, to move, ish, to dematerialize, as in spirit, and na, meaning fettered or bound. So the name of the Godhead Sri Krishna means one who is rectified to perfection, the corrected being, the purified consciousness, free from the bindings of the material world. It denotes a purification to its essential substance, which is spirit or Atman. Removing na gives us krish or thinned, dissolved. This is where we get the word cross, and Christus in Latin, Christi, the Christ in English, which is Kyrie in Greek. From krish, we get kristal, a transition from chaos to perfection, and courtesy, the act of a purified, selfless person. The word caramel indicates that sugar has been transformed into a burnt state. This is also the root of the word curse. So when somebody curses, what it really means is conveying a wish for the person being cursed to be burnt into flames, purified, then reduced to ash, and disappear. Meaning the person wants you gone, dematerialized.
I curse you with that. To never know peace. You will never die.
Well, granted, that was a little dramatic, but it gets the point across. The word crazy is also rooted in krsh, which means the mind has crashed and has been crushed and gone cray-cray. Adding the word masa, or month, which is mes in Spanish, we get krishmasa, the month of purification, the month to be blessed with spiritual gifts of enlightenment. Not this. Or this. Adding ya to kr gives us kriya, one of the disciplines of yoga. From kriya, we get the Spanish word creación, the root of the English word create or creation. This is where we get escribir, meaning to script or to write, and escritor, meaning scribe or writer. Isn't it amazing that all these words are rooted in kr? Let's continue. If we add ma or mayate to kr, we get karma. In simplified terms, good deeds lead to beneficial results, while poorly thought actions have consequences of suffering, pain, and regret. So the next time you act or do something, ask yourself if it is an act that will serve good or yield ill-fated fruit. Just for fun, to prove that the energies are encoded into the dhatus, whether consciously or subconsciously, let's do Kermit the Frog. The word mit is appended to kr, which becomes kermit. Mit means friend. Now you know where we get the English word mate. So, kermit means a man of action and a friend who does noble deeds. We can see him as the man of action when he becomes the reporter who is always faced with danger. Now tell me, isn't Kermit the nicest character on Sesame Street? This is the reason why Miss Piggy is head over heels cray-cray over Kermit, because he's such a wonderful mate. Alright, that was fun. Now on to a word that is so big yet so elusive in its etymology that nobody really knows the root of the word. Until now. Did you ever ask yourself where the word God comes from? Well, for the first time, you're going to find out in a clear and concise manner with no guessing. The true source of the word God comes from Sanskrit in the form of the word Kada and Kad. Energizing the Ka to Ka and extending the A to A switches the bias from Kada, meaning the water-giving cloud, which is Brahma or the life-giver, to Kad, which is more used to denote the devouring nature of time, embodied by Lord Shiva, the destroyer. Standing in the middle of both polarities is Vishnu, the sustainer of life, or Kada. Together, these three atomic gods combine to form the Trimurty, or the three bodies, forming the basis of what we know now as the Trinity. Trinities can be understood in several different ways. The first way to understand the structural nature of threes is by understanding the triangle. Its three angles come together to form a geometric solid, essential to contain form. The union of the three forms a holistic system, just like we see with the egg yolk, egg white, and egg shell. This is similar to what we see in a nuclear family, comprised of the father, mother, and child, symbolized by Isis, Horus, and Osiris. In physics, this is the trinity of the proton, neutron, and electron. In humans, this is the body, mind, and spirit. The universe is both Yonivasa and Munivesha. Muni is the unified consciousness of the Great Spirit we call God. The Munivesha is the garment which allows us to see the consciousness of God. It is the trees, the animals, the insects, nature, other planets, extraterrestrial beings, and we, the people of Artha. Without the material garment, we will not be able to see the consciousness of the Great Spirit. Existing in a dimension imperceivable by the human eye, God is both akrita, the accretion, and adrishta, the unseen. This is the symbolism behind Alpha and Omega, Om, the first and last, creator and destroyer in both manifest and unmanifest states. Alpha and Omega are embodied in the vibration Om in this particular Yonivasa. In the Aryan perspective, the Yonivasa is a garment that clothes the invisible body of God. This is the way Kad chooses to make us capable of seeing his or her full divine majesty. Kad, possessing both male and female energies, is both and neither gender at the same time because God is both the polar opposite and the unified field. So, for the purposes of this presentation, we will humbly address God as either he, she, or itself, to represent the inclusion of all three states of gender and polarity. In Sanskrit, the planet we call Earth is known as Prithvi. However, its name in English, Earth, has been taken from the dichotomy of the words artha, meaning sense, and artha, which means distress and pain. Ar means praising or yearning to be one with the highest, and ta means jewel, womb, or breast, and ta meaning puzzle or cipher. Earth is a big puzzle. Also, ta, which is the equivalent of danger and fear. We all know that this planet is a puzzle, hard to understand, confusing. The art of nirukta in Sanskrit allows us to decode and understand the following. Combining ar and ta, we get artha, the domain of the senses, the sensual planet of temptation, the Garden of Eden, the place of alluring sights and sounds, textures and tastes, a place of beauty, compassion, and devotion. Also a place of sin, violence, and anger. An intoxicating realm of dualistic illusions where love and hate coexist, where mirrors reflect opposite images, where pleasure leads to pain, where beauty has become a curse and a trap, and self-sacrifice leads to blissful liberation, where going in is the way out. The father of mankind and first giver of laws is called Manu, the thinker. The origin of the word man and mankind comes from man, the intelligent perceiving ones with the ability to comprehend sacred texts. Manu is the first in a succession of thinking men, whose first incarnation came to be known as Adam, or Adana, the wanderer, considered by Islam as the first prophet and first man, according to the Bible. If we do Adana, we get the word bound. Bound to what? Bound to Adhana. Adhana is container. A container of what? What else but the mind and the spirit? Adan is the atomic man. He is defined in Sanskrit as the wandering thinker. Well, aren't we all? These are exactly the same attributes of Odin, otherwise known as Wodanas in Norse mythology. Odin is known as the wandering deity. Notice the unmistakable correlation? Listen. Adana, Odin, Adana, Wodanas. So where does Adana, Adhan, Wodan, and Wodanas wander? Where else but the Garden of Adana, the Garden of Wodan, the Garden of Adam, the Garden of Eden. So the eternal God banished Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden and exiled humanity from paradise, sentencing humans to laborious lives, working the very ground man came from. After driving them out, he stationed winged guardians at the east end of the Garden of Eden and set up a sword of flames which alertly turned back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. So applying the new knowledge of the definition of the words Adam, Odin, and Eden, one can now decode the book of Genesis with a better and clearer understanding. The words Adam, Adhan, Odin, and Eden are the same words, the wanderer and the realm where one wanders. Thanks to the method of adaptive nirukta in Sanskrit, interpreting the Bible and other religious texts becomes very, very clear. It is now a logical understanding, free from allegory and superstition, removing all windows of error, misinterpretation, and manipulation. It's all coming together now, isn't it? The words Adam, Adhan, Odin, and Eden are the same word, the wanderer, and the realm where one wanders in search of Valhalla. So the next time somebody asks you, where is the garden of Odin, of Eden? Well, tell them they're standing on it. It is not one particular place, but an allegory of the entire planet of Artha, the vast expanse of the sensual planet where man spends his whole life wandering in thought, wandering in search of freedom from the physical realm, liberation from pleasure and pain. This is the true root of the mythical Garden of Eden. One thing we need to understand is, in the ancient ways, our ancestors used adjectives to name and describe the attributes of people and places. All names in the past were based on adjectives in a tradition still maintained today in several countries, and by our friends the Native Americans and our friends in India, but has been lost in the West. Manu Adam is the first in a line of several Manus who have come through the ages. In succeeding lineages, Manu Adam has also come to be known as Nu, the biblical Noah. Nu means to shout loudly, to announce and to warn that danger is incoming. Similar to a town crier, Nu delivers what else but the news. Noah is famous for creating the ark that saved humanity. Likewise, Manu also created a vessel to save mankind from the flood. Here we see Manu riding the boat he's built along with his family, the 7 sages, and the Vedas, who are all led to safety by the Matsya avatar, or the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu, the first of his 10 primary avatars. Have you ever wondered where the word super comes from? The word super finds its roots in supara. If we add supara to man, we get suparaman, or Superman. Man plus supara means the thinking one who has attained prosperity as a result of overcoming difficulties. Isn't that what Superman really is? A problem-solving man? The counterpart of man is woman, known in Sanskrit as Manushi. She is the mother of men. She experiences the pain of childbirth. That is why she is called Vamana, the one who rejects and suffers. Wonder Woman is Bhandara Vamana, a Vamana who is versed to serve in the ways of combat. Look, she even has the third eye of Shiva on her forehead. Wow. She is an Amazon, or Amasana, one who does not measure injury or pain, and one who keeps moving forward. It literally means unstoppable. This is the reason why they call it the Amazon rainforest. This is why Amazon is the world's largest online retailer. Also, this is the root and true synonym of the word amazing. Sanskrit is amazing, no? Thus, we define woman as a spiritually aware, thinking, and caring individual who sees fighting for her family as a duty. Someone who raises honorable children and ignores the pain that comes with being a mother. Based on this understanding, we can clearly see why men must respect women and mothers, because they are the source. But this also goes out to the Vamana out there. Respect yourselves and treat yourselves with decency and morality, because you are a goddess, the life giver here on Adda. This is the way of the code. In upcoming episodes, never before revealed, the secrets of Satan. We decode the ancient ways of Judaism and the Torah, the mysteries of Kabbalah, the undisclosed origins of the Bible and the book of Genesis, and the lost history of Islam. These and many more secrets decoded only here in the ancient ways.